Hey guys, Troy here again. Wanted to share with you a pen that kind of surprised me. One of the things about my viewers, you guys are incredibly generous and helpful. I was sent a box full of pens by one of my viewers, and I cannot give you his name because I don't have permission to use it or to give him credit openly. But there was a guy who contacted me offline and said, hey, I've got a bunch of pens here and they're really taking up too much space and they're not doing me any good. So I understand that you give away a lot. And it's true, I do give away a lot of pens. As a matter of fact, he sent me a box full of various pens. A lot of them were Hero brand pens, including this one right here. There was a bag full of these. This happens to be the Hero 9626. Let's see if I can get a good shot in here. If not, I'll give you a better shot on my camera. But this particular pen is a Chinese manufactured hooded nib, and it is metal with like a porcelain coating on it, and it's got some blue flowered pattern, some Chinese characters on it as well. Down here, and it tapers down nicely, tapers down here, got a fairly inexpensive clip. These particular pens are not expensive. US dollars, I've seen them $1.79 or less. I've seen them just over $2 depending upon from whom you purchase, and that is shipped direct from China to you. Not bad. So I said, all right, let me see how it does. So I went ahead and you pull it apart, and you see that it's got a nice tapered section down here. I mean, I'm not huge on slender pens. I just never really have been. But so you've got a nice slender taper to a hooded nib down here. It's going to be a fine nib as it is, and you can see that it's a slip cap that sits in tight, and you got to push fairly hard, and you hear the snap, and you pull it off. So it is a cartridge converter pen. You pull it off and you've got a slide converter. So instead of twisting and making a piston go up and down because of a screw or a screw jack, if you would, it's just got a slide where you would just move that manually up and down like that. So not my favorite kind of converter, but they're effective. They work. So especially if you go to prime it a little bit and you press a little bit too much, and you're gonna get ink everywhere. And this has that little agitator. You can probably see that little spring, little coil inside of it to help break up surface tension of ink. And of course, this just screws right back on. So I actually was impressed. When I go to give away pens, I don't just give the pen. What I do is I carry my pen daily, and I usually have a pen case like this one right here, and sitting in here was my pen of the day, which may have posted by now on my YouTube channel, but my Wing Sung 3013 that I've been carrying around the past several days because I wanted to be able to get an accurate representation and be fair about how the pen actually worked after I did some work on it. So that would be in here, and the other pen that was in here is a Jinhao 992, and the reason that is in here is because I'd given away this. One of these right here, the Hero 9626. So before I give them away, as you can see like on this, I ink them up and I test them. I make sure they write and write well, because I don't want to give away a pen that's not going to write well. What I do sometimes is I'll pull out the pen that I intend to give away, and someone will comment on it when I put a signature, let's say when I use a debit card, or if I write something on a notepad, or someone has to borrow a pen, and I'll hand them the pen that I intend to give away, or they will see me writing with a pen that I have that is my pen of the day, and I said, well, if you like the idea of trying one, I will be glad to give you your own and offer them the pen. And this one I gave away to a lady who was all excited and actually gave me a hug because I gave her a pen. So I'm going to ink this thing up, and we're going to talk about this pen here in just a minute. But when you pull it apart, like, this is a hard little pull, all right? But it does fit comfortably. It's almost too short for me, but it's not. I can still use it okay. Post it. It's not going to post for you. That's the only downside to this particular pen, is it's just not going to post. Yeah, I've been trying. Okay, tried it with the other one, didn't work. So, was I going to be able to do it like this? Yeah, okay, I can write like that. I can deal with it. And with my big old fingers, the taper down is not too severe that I can't get a good grip and I don't slide on it. I can hold it up a little further up on that grip section. So, and actually, I'll be honest with you, this pen surprised me. So you got the little feed there. This pen literally surprised me when I tried it, and I said, that's not so bad. So I know the one I gave away wrote well. Obviously you saw that this pen has not been inked yet, but I will see how it does when I ink this one up, and hopefully it'll be as consistent as the other one was. So let's go ahead and ink it up and write with it. And what I will do is, in between, you'll see some statistics on this particular pen. And I'm hoping that for $2, I've got another winner here, or a winner that you can add to your collection. And when I've got this thing inked up and ready to go, this will become another giveaway pen for somebody to enjoy. Alright, here I am ready to ink. What I usually do and what I recommend is have some kind of reservoir system, and this is just an old Chinese food container. I save these, and you can see why I do. And besides that, they actually make fairly cheap Tupperware, so if you ever wanted to give somebody some of your leftovers, or you're making food and you have plenty of it to spare and to bless people with, like slices of lasagna or whatever, you can do that. I'm going to throw in some Royal Blue right here, so it's going to be Diamine Royal Blue. And I got a fairly good sample bottle on sale that I got from Birmingham Pens when I placed an order, and it was fairly inexpensive to do that. So let's go ahead and, because it's a cartridge converter pen, pull that off, put my slide all the way down, take off the cap, and we're going to dip it in and get that nib down into the ink. You can tell I've used this actually a good amount since I got this bottle, because it was full at one time. And go up, and let's do the slide one more time. Put the slide down, slide it all the way up again, and you can see that I've got somewhat of a fill there, but I think we can do better than that. So let's put the slide all the way back down again and start from scratch and see what I can come up with. Come on. So one thing that I don't like about the slide. Well, I didn't get as good a full thing as I like, so let's try it one more time. Alright, I probably got about as full of a fill as I'm going to get on this thing. So you got an air bubble still in there. So after playing with it 4 or 5 times, let's go ahead and cap it. Wipe off the excess. I always keep a paper towel handy for just such an occasion. Alright, so excess ink is wiped off. Pen has been inked. Don't ever expect that you're going to get out of it unscathed and without getting inked. It's just, in reality, not really going to happen. So, let's see how this one writes. The last one I wrote with actually went very, very nicely. So this is the Hero 9626. Actually writes fairly smooth. It writes fairly well. It gives a good inking. So this is a fine hooded nib. And let's see how well, yeah, it lays down a decent amount of ink. It is not buttery smooth, but it is actually rather smooth. It's very acceptable to me. I would not take and smooth out this particular nib if I was to keep this particular pen, but I would be actually fairly happy and confident that that was going to write fairly well, and that I might actually enjoy using this particular pen. Not bad at all. So for a pen that can actually, for about $2, or actually $2 can be, greater than the price of the pen, depending upon where you get it. Like I said, I've seen it for $1.79, and I've seen it like $2.08, somewhere in there. So not bad, not bad. I mean, I don't expect a lot for a $2 pen. I don't expect a lot from most Chinese brands, especially for their inexpensive brands. One of the things I did notice with this, you do have almost a sweet spot because that nib and the way it's shaped is actually so small. Yes, it's fine, but also because it's a hooded nib, you're not going to have a whole lot of play. So if you rotate that pen at all, it's not going to write. But if you rotate it just a little bit, I mean just a hair, it's got a sweet spot to it. But not bad when you're within that sweet spot. So Diamine Royal Blue. So what do you think, folks? I'm thinking it's a decent looking pen, and I kind of like that little design right here in the center. So you've got that little hump right here where it says right on it, Hero 9626. That's a nice looking pen. I mean, I like how it tapers down this way, tapers down here, and where the cap meets the barrel, or meets the barrel in the section, you actually have kind of a funky looking, almost like a Christmas decoration step down. And you've got a little design here, and you got the gold bands here. You've got a nice design. Slide on, snap tight. And I'd pulled this one out after I inked up that first one for giveaway. I pulled it out every so often just to see how it would do over the couple days that I had it before giving it away. And it wrote first time, every time. So for a $2 investment, you can't go wrong to add a fairly decent little writer to your collection. I mean, I don't care if it's expensive or it's cheap. I've got more expensive pens, far more expensive pens that write a lot worse than this. And I've got some fairly inexpensive pens that write fairly well. This is one that actually writes fairly well. So the Hero 9626 for about $2 might actually be a fairly decent investment for you to give away, or for you to give family or your kids, or keep it for yourself.